make sure you get some tremendous results, well, guys, it's today. Let's prepare the live stream on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Clubhouse, to this new episode of Marketing Commandos. I'm glad to see you today. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the science, the masterclass, the science of advertising. If you're excited about learning what that thing, if you want to become a scientist, a professional about how you can advertise and get your business to the next level, guys, stay tuned because I'm going to show you some value bombs, some things that you will not believe that will actually change your business. That's what we're going to focus on today. So stay tuned for that because we are here for a wonderful trip. So stay tuned for that. So let me share my screen. You will be able to see what I'm talking about. Here we go. So, Diaporama, my friends, let's go. Here we are, the science of advertising, my friends, the science of advertising. Well, why do I want to talk about the science of advertising? And actually, I don't really like talking about ads too much for a simple reason. I'm going to talk about all the subjects that are connect with that, but I don't like to talk about ads too much for a simple reason. It changes all the time. And I don't want to make something that is true right now, but it's just a trend and will get destroyed in a few weeks from now. That's not something I'm working towards. I'm always looking for principles that you can apply right now and in 50 years from now. That's my approach to things. And I think that's where we can actually create businesses with foundations that will work for the long term. That's my goal. So for those who don't know me, my name is Gabriel. I got to change that further because I had more hair before that. But right now, I decided to, the shortest, the better. My name is Gabriel Julié. For those who don't know me, I'm French, founder of Julihey Media and Julihey Productions. Our mission is to get you as many customers as you can possibly handle in just a few months. With a whole new way, never talked about, new way of doing marketing. If that interests you, hit me up on Gabriel Julié on all social media. Now, let's go back to the subject of today's episode, the science of advertising, the masterclass. I'm going to give you all the things that you guys need to know. And there are only a few things that you got to know, but those are extremely important. I'm going to share those with you right now. So if you're excited, make sure you subscribe to the show. There is a new episode every Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on those episodes, I share various topics, sales, marketing, everything that you need to know in the business, in the online business, so you can actually take your business to the next level online. If that sounds cool, subscribe to the show now on YouTube or ping somebody into the room, the Clubhouse room. I think I can point to this place here on Gabriel Julié, the YouTube channel, and on Marketing Commandos, the room on Clubhouse. Now let's get started with the first step of today's episode, which is going to be why marketers are the low-keyest. I don't even know if that's a word when I read it, when I read that, but anyway, it's on the paper. Why marketers are the low-keyest geniuses, scientists of all time. Why is that? Well, it all started when I listened. Actually, I didn't read the book. I actually listened to the book, The Science of Advertising by Claude Hopkins. It's really one of the books that I really recommend it. It's maybe 100 years old, actually. It's been read, but it's one of those books. It's pretty much one of the thinking roads of marketing. You gotta listen to this book for a reason, or read it, because it sets you with a mindset, a fundamental mindset that you can go and understand advertising, because that's one of the things I'm studying right now, how to get better at learning things. And one of the best, most important tips that you got to learn from get-go is actually to not focus on learning little steps of the processes and kind of grasping the concepts. You got to learn the big picture of things, understand that, and then, only then, you will dive deeper into little stuffs. But people have the whole system backwards. They think they got to learn about Facebook ads and they got to learn about the latest hack that is working with moments. Right now, it's reels and short videos, but I guarantee you when the next thing hits, well, it's not going to work anymore. And you will have to figure out a new thing. And that's not bad. You should leverage those trends. But what you should always have is, hey, those things that will be always working and are going to give you the best, juiciest amount of results. You got to know them. You absolutely have to know that. And that's why I'm talking that science, because that's a science. There is a science about marketing, meaning that there is a process that you can learn, you can use, again and again and again. And whenever you understand the science behind it, you will be able to predict the results that you will get. Does that interest you? To actually how do you say that? To actually be able to predict the results that you're going to get. If that interests you, stay tuned because I got something for you. Now, the science of advertising, that's really the way it is, to see advertising and marketing as a science and not something that you're winging and hoping for best results, because that's not the way you should think about it, because you're missing a huge amount of customers that way. It should always be about one or two things, actually. And when I'm talking about the science, it's really about those things. Two concepts. First, number one, it's always be testing. The best way to have a marketing campaign that works is actually to make sure that you're always testing, to see what is the thing that is working. What is the thing that I should be using? What is the headline I'm going to use? And you got to know that, but you know that you got to test. And you got to test at scale. But one of the things that our fathers of marketing did when they weren't able to publish a Facebook ad with a campaign that can give them direct results to actually see how it works is actually they tested at a smaller scale, meaning they were tested, okay, we have two versions of the same paper. And one of the keys to testing is actually to test only one variable at a time, meaning that if you're testing two different things, they should be exactly the same, but one thing. For example, it can be an headline. Let's say exact same paper, same text, same images, but they just have different headlines. You got to test one thing at a time, because if not, you will not be able to point your finger on, okay, this is the thing that works right now. What is cool is with Facebook ads and things like that, you can test quicker at scale and have a better idea faster of actually what is working, so you can apply and put as much of the budget as possible on that on real time. But the key is always to go back to the principles, as I'm saying. So go always test one variable at a time. It can be the headline, it can be the image, it can be the text, the description, the caption if you're reading an ad, it can be the first 3 seconds of a video, whatever it is, but always test the same thing so you can compare it. If not, you will not be able to compare it. Then you should allocate all your budget to that version. And then whenever you have an idea of what is working, you can put it at scale. So for example, let's say you're running an ad on Google or Facebook, same principle applies. You test different variables. You test, okay, this image seems to outperform all the other ones. I'm going to put a lot of budget on this one. And then whenever you have a proof of concept, for example, I don't know, let's say you are in the dog toys business. Okay, you're a dog e-commerce brand, and you saw that images of dogs playing with children, for example, are working especially great. And each time you're posting an image or an ad with those specifics images, you see they're outperforming everything. So what you're going to do is now you have a proof of concept. And you can, of course, test it further, test headlines. Okay, now I've got the concept of images that are working well. Maybe I can test other headlines that are working best. And that's where the testing always continues. But now you can scale the thing. Now you have an idea, okay, now I can apply a lot more budget into that concept because I know it's working. Do you guys follow me? That's exactly the way you should go at it. And let me tell you something. The more testing you do, the more testing you're going to do. It's always be testing a lot. You gotta never be satisfied with the version that you got. You gotta always aim at outperforming the previous version you did. Always. Now, if the thing is working, I'm not saying destroy it. You should always have it in the back. But what I mean is that you should always be testing with a control, meaning the version number one. You should always have a version number two that you're testing to see, okay, which one is working the best. And if the version 2 works better than the version that you had previously, okay, now 2 becomes 1, and then we test a new version 2 that has the goal to outperform number 1. And if it doesn't, okay, scratch this one and let's test another one until you find another one that works better than the first one. And again, you repeat the process again and again and again. That's the key to testing and the key to scientific advertising. I hope that you understood what I meant, because that's really big. That's one of the founding principles of marketing, guys. So if you guys liked what I just shared with you, make sure that you share the show, because we are not finished yet, guys. We're just starting out, in fact. We're just starting. Let me introduce you to questions, to things that people ask me all the time, and I'm going to answer those questions with you right now, so you don't have to look up for the answers yourself. Let me show you those questions. How should I structure my advertising campaigns? Well, that's a question I get a lot of the time, but if you want an idea of how you should structure your campaign, I would actually recommend you to only test, as I just previously told you guys, to test only one variable at a time, meaning that all your ad sets, you know, you got the campaign, then you got the ad sets, and then you got the creatives. Each ad set, so for you to test it properly, should only have one interest, meaning that you're only always at each sections testing one variable at a time. All right, because if not, you cannot compare. You cannot compare the results. You cannot have an idea of what it is, and that's something that I see a lot of people are not doing. Is that, yeah, I'm running Facebook ads, but are you really running Facebook ads the right way? It's not to just to promote your business. It's to actually find the best way to promote your business, right? And to do that, ads are a great way to test it. So make sure that you're always testing different variables in your ads. And if you think, okay, I created 10 images, that's enough. No, you should create 50, 100, so you can have a clear idea faster of what is working the best. So make sure that you test massively at a large scale, only one variable at a time. And the faster you can do it, the faster you're going to have an idea of what is the best way to sell, promote, and your business and hook people. That's extremely important to always be testing. Number 2, what steps should I follow to make a successful campaign? I would say one of the biggest mistakes that you guys are doing, maybe not you, but most people are doing, is actually that you're not, number one, testing. So you're never testing and never you're just making ads, yeah, running an ad. And that's it. How many variables you got? Well, one, just one creative. And that's better than nothing, but why do you add it? Why not get all the benefits that it can get you? And in order for you to do that, you gotta test. You always gotta test different variables, always gotta test different images. So what are the things that you can test actually? You can test images, you can test videos, you can test sections of the video, meaning, for example, if the script is divided into 3 steps, for example, you can test, okay, in an ad set, you can test the first part of the video, change each times. And that's actually what ads at the big scales are doing. They're actually creating this ads, and they are testing beforehand those videos so they can understand, okay, what is the best version of the video that's going to perform the best whenever we launch that thing. That's what they do at a bigger scale. So use that to your advantage, but take some time to your launch. The more time you have to promote, the better, so you can test and have a clear idea of what is working. So if you're doing a launch, or if you want to make as much money as possible, in fact, you have some time to test and to reframe your message and to see exactly what is working. Okay. Now, next question. How can I fix a broken ad? It's always about those 3 things. There's always 3 steps to any ad. Do you guys know those steps? Those 3 steps are the following, and it's the same thing with an ad, with a funnel, with whatever it is that you're promoting. It's always either a hook, the story, or the offer, meaning that does your ad, whenever I'm scrolling through Facebook, YouTube, or whatever is the place you put your ad, does it hook me? If it doesn't, fix that. Number 2, is the story, the thing that you're telling me to sell your pretty products or services, does that make me want to go to the next step? If not, fix that. Number 3, is the offer worth the action? Now, it depends on what you got to offer. If, for example, it's just offering an ad, it's not about selling the product. It's about selling the click to go on the website. Then on the website, you sell the offer. And then you get another hook, story, offer, analysis to do in the next step. But in the case of an advertisement or a Facebook ad, for example, is the thing that you're promoting, that you're promising me, is on the other side of the page, on the other side of the click? Is it worth my click? Is it worth me, the lazy me, doing other things in my day, never thought about your ad and seeing your face on social media. Is it worth for me to actually click on this ad? If not, we got to fix that. Those are the three things that you got to test out and figure out in order to fix any advertisements or any funnels, in fact. Now, next step of today's episode. Do you guys enjoy this, by the way? If you do, make sure you share the stream with somebody else and you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Side note, I just bought this huge 3 liters water bottle because I was sick and tired of actually, having to refill my small bottles all the time. Now this one, I don't even know if I can drink it in one day. Maybe I went a bit overboard, but that's how I want my life to be. I want it to be exciting and with a lot of dumb things in it. That's the funniest part. Now, let's go back to the show. The top 3 metrics, sorry for my French, you aren't measuring and are killing your marketing campaigns. I see, and maybe you're measuring them, or at least the key is to actually understand why we are measuring them. That's the most important part. We are going full on science. Man, my science, biology, mathematics degree is getting revived right now. That's incredible. Number 1, metrics that you are not measuring is the ACV, average cart value. Now, Gabriel, I'm not a science guy. Me either. That's why I started to actually pursue some biology degree and actually went into marketing. That's the exact same reason. But you got to understand those measures because those are clear indicators of your business's success. So what is ACV? ACV is something that we always look at whenever we are creating a sales funnel. So an average cart value is basically the amount of money your customers leaves in average after they finish to go through your funnel. Meaning that for example, let's say you have only one product that is at $30 and your customer, maybe 10% of your customers buy it. Let's say, let me throw a random number at you. Let's say each customer is actually worth, $10 to you. That's a number I throw at the wall, but we don't care. The key is to understand the principle behind it. If you add upsells and you keep them in the loop of buying whenever they are in that funnel, you put sales funnels like follow-up funnels in place, meaning that you put emails set it up and all those things like that. Well, you can actually increase that cart value, that average cart value. For example, let's say instead of just selling a product that's worth $30, now you sell a product that's worth $30, then you get an upsell at $300. Now, all of a sudden, your cart value is going to increase a lot because you don't have to pay for another customer to actually go and click to get into the funnel to buy that other product. It's already in there. So you pretty much have a free lead that is extremely qualified because he just bought something and is ready to buy again and again. And that's extremely interesting because you can get a lot of second sales that way. And it's going to increase dramatically your cart value. So that's an awesome way to run more ads because the more money you get, the more ads you can run and the more customers again you can get, and again you see the loop repeating itself. So measure average cart value so you can actually understand, okay, how can I increase that cart value? Your goal is to always increase it so you can have as much money as possible to reinvest into more traffic. Number 2, average watch time. That's in a specific setting, but I see that a lot of people are not using that, and that's really unfortunate because you can get a lot of better qualified traffic for that. So let me tell you, it's in the case if you're running a Facebook ad or YouTube ad in that situation. But I know you can definitely do it on Facebook. That's way easier to do it there. But you can actually target specific groups of people that watched a certain portion of the video. Well, how can it be useful for me, Gabriel? Let me tell you how it is. Let's say you throw a video to a certain type of audience on Facebook and you're like, yeah, I want to target those guys, but I want to target the best of the best, the cream of the top, the guys that are the most qualified that saw this video. Well, one of the ways you can actually assume those guys are qualified is the amount of time they put it into watching your video. Okay, because think about it. If people actually watched your video all the way, or maybe 50%, well, they were actually pretty interested. to watch it, because attention rate is dropping a ton. And if people are taking the time to watch a video, they got a certain amount of interest. So one of the smart things that you can do is actually to reuse, to create a new audience with those guys that actually watched a certain portion of this video and target them specifically, because you know they have a better interest than the one that's, you know, what didn't even watch more than 10% of the video. All right, you're following me? So that's an awesome thing that you can track and use to your advantage. And the last one is one that is by far the most important, and I don't know why. I just don't know why, guys, like why businesses don't have it as a KPI. To be honest, that's one of my KPIs, and it's to get new list subscribers. Always. You should always be focusing on getting new list members. Why is that, Gabriel? Well, let me tell you a quick story, if you guys are okay with that. One day, my Instagram account was hacked. Let's set it straight. It was hacked, and I was like, man, I cannot access my traffic source. I cannot access my customers. I'm pretty fucked. And I also remember a day, maybe it happened 2 or 3 times actually, where, you know, those days where Facebook and Instagram were shut down. Do you remember those days? Huh? How did you feel? How did you feel at this time? Like, oh, man, I cannot talk to my people right now. That's a trouble. That's a trouble. And one of the best ways to actually not being affected by that is to have your own email list. And having your own email list with a lot of people in it is actually one of the best ways to grow a business. And I know businesses that, and actually a lot of businesses that are having email lists, maybe 30 to 40% of their revenue, like total revenue, is coming from the email list. That's insane, because those are extremely warm, hot buyers, fans that are always buying from them. And if you nurture them correctly, you can get a ton of sales from them. Those are the best. This is the best source of traffic you can get. You can get instant feedback on offers that you are selling. You can like send a ton of offers. That's really the best way to promote the business. Like you give me a business, you give me 2 businesses. One that has $1 million in monthly ad budget, and another business with 1 million list members. I take the second one all day long, like to tell you, because especially if they nurtured that email list and they are having some pretty great results. Now, I'm taking that all day long. That's to tell you how important it is. So you guys know that I always like to give some bonus tips. And the one I'm going to give you today is to always get their contact information. That's to join back what I just told you about the email list, the new email list subscribers. You should always finding a way to capture the information so you can grow your own email list. All right. So guys, if you're liking what I'm just sharing with you, make sure to share the live stream, share the room, ping somebody to the room, because we're going into the most important section of today's episode. So stay in there, because guys, this is the meat of the meal, the steak, la viande, le bœuf, the most important part of the live stream. So stay tuned and pay attention, because right now it's going to be extremely important. And I want you to listen and or to watch, or both, best case scenario. Let me tell you how to grow your email list without spending a cent on that. Because we talked about advertising and we all like it. We all like spending some money to get some more money back. But what if there was a way to actually get some money without spending some? Would you be interested? Would you do that? Well, I'm going to share that with you right away on how you can exactly do that, a step-by-step process, so you can grow your email list fast, not but fast, without spending a cent on that. Let's go. Number 1, and it's the most, and that's why I put it in bold, because it's extremely important. This is the most important part. I'm going to develop on this one. Number 1, find something your customers are paying for and offer it for free. And why is it the most important part? For a simple reason, guys. In advertising, there is this principle that has always been true and always been something that if you followed it, you could get incredible results. And it's this following principle. If you sell what your competitors are selling, their best products for free, you're going to get all the traffic, all the attention. Now, when I say that, whoa, Gabriel, how can I do that? Because I got to make some money as well. I'm with you and I get it. The thing that I'm telling you is that you should always find ways to promote products that your competition is promoting, their best products, and find ways that you can put them for free. And when you're able to do that, you're in an extremely powerful situation. And it depends in your industry. In my industry, for example, I'm in advertising, online marketing. What I can do is offer free consultations. That's an excellent, incredible, free offer. And I'm going to tell you then what you do with that free offer. But first, find something extremely good that you can offer for free to your customers, something they're already paying and you can make it for free. Find that thing. Number 2, create a landing page. So simple. Remember, the simpler it is, the better results you're going to see. An headline, an image, and a form to put up the emails and the names and the bottom. That's it. The simpler it is, the more conversions you're going to get. Don't try to put a sidebar with logos and pretty stuff. Simpler is better. Number 3, go where your customers are congregated. So now you got your sales funnel set up. You got your offer, you got your sales page. Now you got to get some traffic to that sales page, to that free offer you created. So now ask yourself these questions. Okay, who is my dream customer? Got it? Whenever you know who is your dream customers, what activities do they do, who they are, their families, what their hobbies, find out where they are hanging out, where they are congregated. If you're an entrepreneur, I guess that you are watching maybe some magazines like founder.com, Forbes, maybe you read Bloomberg, or maybe you're watching a certain page on Instagram. What's a famous page on Instagram? Millionaire Mentor, Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, Russell Brand, Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know. It's if you're in the entrepreneurial niche, but your customers, you should find the websites they're going to, the blogs they're reading, also the real places they're going to. If they're oftentimes getting to a certain conference, for example, that's a smart idea to actually get on this conference. And that's actually the next step, is to offer them your bait in exchange of their info. So you get on those places that they are congregated to, podcasts, influencers, whatever it is, the place where the attention is. You get there, you're like, hey, what's up? I got this thing that you're paying hundreds of dollars for, and I'll offer you for free. Oh, you offer me for free, man. What's the catch? Nothing. Just give me a name and email address. Click this link and you're gonna get it. Okay, clicking the link, putting my info, and I'm in, man. Give me the free stuff. That's exactly how it should go. Now, one of the little tips that I could add into that situation is actually whenever you are offering your bait, the bait is the offer, the thing that you created in the beginning. So whenever you're offering that thing, let's have this in the background of our head to actually understand that, hey, I'm always testing out new stuff. So whenever you are selling, you are pitching, whatever it is on stage, on a podcast, maybe you collaborated with a guy on Instagram, exchange, I don't know, depends on the way you decided to go at it. But you should always be testing, okay, what emotions, pain points, things, what is the goal they want to have? What is the results they want to get? What words do I have to say to get the best results? And then you always test those things so you can refine your sales presentation. Maybe you change your offer a bit. You saw that it wasn't as good as you thought it was. You get some more insights. Maybe you get some more things you can add. Okay? And all those things, use them to actually get as many new list members. That's the way you should go about it. If you want a more detailed step-by-step process on how to succeed doing this exact method, I put it up, an action plan, free action plan that you can get here. The Commandos Weekly Action Plan at gabrieljulié.com/action plan. Put it up, a step-by-step process of how to exactly execute this process that I just shared with you as fast as possible so you can get your list growing and get more sales in your business. Let's go. If you guys like what I just shared with you, remember to share the live stream and ping somebody to the room if you're on the Clubhouse, because right now you're going to share the ideas that we had from today's episode and make sure we remember what is the most important parts of today's episode. Okay, number one, advertising is about testing meticulously at a scale to create the best version possible. You test a lot of times, a lot of different things, but one variable at a time. And then whenever you have a winning formula, you scale. That's the way, the scientific way to go at advertising. And that's by far the best. And it's always going to work whether you are on Facebook ads, whether you're on Google, TikTok, newspaper ads, metaverse stage, hologram freaking thing is going to work the exact same way. Number two, always get that contact information. Always capture the name, email, phone numbers as well. That's pretty cool to have all the information you need depending on the specific situation, but always capture that contact information. Why is that? Because you are able to directly connect and talk to them. And that's extremely important. You do not have to go through Facebook, Instagram, or whatever it is, the platform that you are buying some attention to actually talk to them. Now you can directly talk to them via email, which is a very personal way to communicate if you use it right. Number three, how to dominate your competition. Underline, it's extremely important. Sell their best products for free. That's a timeless marketing principle. If you can do what your competition is doing for free, you have an incredible advantage over them. In my situation, for example, free consultations, like marketing consultations, sitting with you 1 hour, be like, brother, what is the broken thing on the machine? How can I improve your sales with marketing? Something that maybe somebody is going to pay $1,000 for. I'm giving it away for free. There is a lot of value in that. You see what I mean? And if you can do that, you can definitely dominate your competition. Now, guys, remember, get the action plan for this week, the Commandos Weekly Action Plan. To actually, this week, we're talking about how to grow your email list to get more revenue in your business. Go to gabrieljulié.com/action plan so you can get it. That was today's episode. If you guys liked it, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel on the other side. I'm going to get it one day, Gabriel Julié, and that you go into the Clubhouse room, Marketing Commandos, because we do this every single Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, sharing the blessings, sharing the best things ever about marketing that you can use in your business right away. And remember, we can be sharing the best tips, the best things ever. But one important thing that we got to remember always is to apply the information that we got. So that's why I want you to go to gabrieljulié.com/action plan, because if you're not going there, you're decreasing your chances to actually apply what we just learned today, and you are not going to see the results, which is pointless. So go get there, gabrieljulié.com/action plan. It's free. Apply the things that we talked about today. Get better. Grow your business.